It's like really weird. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I did not do that. What the heck?
You're good. Don't worry. Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. All right, everyone. Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. We are just looking for some debates. Reset? You think reset is the move? Yeah, I think it did completely stop. So it's like it might be good, or I should just wait. I don't know which one's better. I think it's taking longer than it typically does, even. Reset? Yeah, what's wrong with today? What is going on? Chat, one of us are gonna be on. We're just trying to see. I'm trying to see which one works the best. I might try to hit a restart or something, or I'll just wait it out. Like one or the other would work. We are what 3 minutes in, 1.5. Dude, honestly, I think we could just wait it out, and it will be fine. I'll try. We'll wait like a few more minutes. If it doesn't work, I'll try to hit a restart, and then if that doesn't work, I'll join Dean. Yeah, we'll give it a few minutes. If you did vote Trump, make sure to send a guest request right now. Does Parker have a girlfriend? Yep, she made it. She made a video actually recently on the Parker got a GF account. It was kind of funny. It was funny. People seem to like it. It's getting her account is getting more push than my main. Like unironically, chat. It's actually brutal. Like ever since the permanent ban, literally her account on videos has been getting more push. Did y'all see that? It's literally us fucking around and like her getting a outfit for me, and it has like 16K likes, dude. Jeez, bro, it's cooked. It's actually cooked. It's so cooked. I saw that video. Yeah, dude, her account has push, bro. It's actually crazy. I'm like, yo, dude, I love it. All my accounts have like limited push. I don't know what it is. All right, yeah, I'm gonna hit a restart. This is brutal, chat. This is so fucking terrible. Have that screen t-shirt live, everyone. Yeah, it was like 52% chat. Like 52%. What's up, everyone joining in? What's up, Ella? Well, I can't even speak right now, dude. I'm sorry. Just started the live, everyone. Hannah, what's up? What's up, Onyx? What's up, Bree? What's up, Indica? What's up, Ruby? What's up, Noah? What's up, Mila? What's up, Christina? All right, what's good, everyone joining in? Do tap that screen. Do share the live, everyone. Oh my god. Well, he has 5.6? Okay, so it pushed. It pushed. So we should just go join Dean, right? Did it push for Dean? Let me see. And Cause dude, it's not even pushing at all for me. It's like zero push. Like I don't know what's going on my account right now. It's not didn't get a grip. It's okay. We'll just go join him. All right, everyone, look, go to Dean's live. I don't know which account he's on. Is he on? It's not Dean. Is he on? It's not Dean. It's Yeah, he is. He's on It's Not Dean with two A's, two N's. Spam Parker Raid, spam Love and Parker, everyone. Let's go join him. Spam Parker Raid, spam Love and Parker. I love y'all so much. W Dean Raid, W Dean Raid. Can we get some W's for Dean in the chat for the raid? I appreciate it, Dean. What's up, everyone? We're gonna start getting some people up here right now. Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. What's up? How old are you? How old are you?
What crappy city do you...
Okay, let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. We are just looking for some debates. Keep tapping that screen. Keep sharing the live, y'all. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hello?
What's up? How old are you?
21.
Did you vote Trump?
I didn't vote in the election because I'm not from America, but I do support him.
Okay. All right. Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. We are just looking for some debates, everyone.
Oh, fuck. My bad. I didn't mean to join.
For sure.
How do I leave?
All right, everyone. Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. We're getting the next person up here real quick. Again, everyone, please, everyone, only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. All right, let's get this next person up here. Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump, everyone. All right, let's get this next person up here. Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. What's up? How old are you?
I love you, Parker.
Appreciate you. Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump, everyone. We are just looking for some debates. Yo, Christina, thank you so much. I appreciate the galaxy. Thank you so much, Christina. All right, everyone. Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Devin, thank you so much for the 16-month subscription. Thank you so much, Devin. Thank you. Okay, we're trying to get someone up here. I do apologize. Sometimes it takes a second to get people up here. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello? All right, let's get this next person up here. Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. We literally can't get anyone. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hi.
Janine, thank you so much for the gingerbread. Thank you so much, Janine.
Damn, am I here?
Did you vote Trump? Yeah.
Oh, what's up, man?
Yeah, did you vote Trump?
Well, actually, I didn't vote because I knew I was gonna have to go into.
Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump, everyone. Yo, what's up? How old are you? All right, let's get this next person up here. Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
What's up, Parker? 28.
Did you vote Trump?
Yes, sir.
Why so?
Why so? Best candidate on the ballot?
And why is that?
Well, a lot of different reasons, to be honest with you. I'm a 1099. I own a solar company, and financially was great for taxes for me.
Michelle, thank you so much for the galaxies. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Michelle.
You know, there's a million other reasons when it comes to the actual.
Did you know that there's going to be less investment in solar under a Trump presidency?
I know that. Yeah. No, I am totally aware of that. Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense for you to do that based on that perspective. One, two, as it relates to this, what you're not taking into account is that Kamala Harris's tax policy would be better for a significantly greater level of Americans, specifically like people who are lower and middle income, people who make less than $400,000 a year.
That's correct. Yeah.
So, like, you prefer a better tax plan for the richest Americans rather than a better tax plan for most Americans?
No, but when it comes to taxes, I'll be selfish about it.
Okay. And do you make over 400K?
Yes.
Okay. So you're saying because you get a small little tax cut, you prefer, voting for Donald Trump?
Well, I brought that up first, but that's not like my main reason on why I like Trump, why I support Trump, or why I voted for him. So, I mean, we could talk about that if you want to, about taxes if you want to. But, I mean, I do want all of America to be more benefited than a smaller amount of America.
Okay, so then obviously that would be through not Donald Trump's tax plan. That would be through Kamala Harris's tax plan.
Right. I just think that there would have been a lot more chaos with her, if we're going to talk about Harris, with her in office.
What's up?
I think there would have been a lot more chaos with her in office when it comes to many different things, like foreign policy, for example.
Yeah. Can you give me an example? Why so?
Foreign policy, for example.
Yeah, like what about foreign policy?
I just don't think that she would have been able to keep the country secure, to be honest with you.
Yeah, why so?
Why? How about why would she? How about that?
No, you have to indicate like why so. Like why do you think that it would be unstable?
When it comes to other foreign leaders, I personally do not believe that she would have been able to have the same conversations with them that Trump can and has already prior to him even being.
Why?
Don't push me into saying because she's a woman, but I'll say it.
Okay, well then you just sound like a misogynist.
Yeah, for sure.
So would you vote against a disabled vet because there are ableist people within society?
Because there are what people in society? I'm sorry?
Ableist people. Or ableist foreign leaders.
No.
Okay, so then why would you vote against a woman because there are misogynistic world leaders?
That's not the reason why. I believe there are other. That actually is the reason why. The other world leaders, I think, are misogynistic and would have looked.
Yeah, and I just addressed that point, and would you like to respond to that?
What I'm saying, it's a fact. Like I think that other world leaders wouldn't have respected her.
Are you gonna respond to what
It's
I just
an
said?
unfortunate thing.
If other world leaders are ableist and they don't respect disabled people,
Right.
well then would you vote against someone who's disabled because of that?
No, but it's
Okay, so then why do you specifically do that when it comes to women, but you wouldn't do that with any other category of people?
It's an unfortunate thing that exists in our society, especially when it comes to leadership and men. It's an unfortunate thing. But I don't believe she would have been respected by others. So would I have, hypothetically, let's say that I'm a world leader in a different country, I would respect her. Because I respect my mother, my sister,
and like you're still not responding to what I'm saying. So do I need to restate to what I said again? Or did you understand what I said?
Well, no, I get it, but I'm saying that is my answer. My answer is
No, it's not. No, it's not. I said just because misogyny exists is not a good reason to vote against a woman in the same way that because ableism exists, that's not a good reason to vote against a disabled vet.
No, it shouldn't be a reason in society, but unfortunately it is.
Are you going to fucking acknowledge tell me, restate to me what I just said?
Why would you vote for someone who, I understand what you're saying. I completely get it.
No, restate to me what I just said.
Let's say there's a paraplegic running for president. Would I not vote for him because of that? No, that's not why.
You are going to make me go fucking insane.
I'm sorry, Parker.
I'm going to restate what I said one more time. If you can't respond to what I said, I'm going to kick you from my stream because you're wasting my time.
Okay.
Okay? Is that fair?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So again, in the same way that you would say, like that you shouldn't vote for someone just because it is the case that there are misogynistic world leaders, right? You wouldn't say that you would, I'm not going to vote for a woman because there are misogynistic world leaders. It would be the same reason, right? You would specifically say that you wouldn't vote for someone on the basis of them being a disabled vet because it is the case that there are ableist world leaders. So why is it the case that you see a distinction between these two to say that you would vote for, right, a disabled vet even though there's ableism, but you wouldn't vote for a woman given that there's misogyny?
You're asking for a reason of why. I'm giving you the reason of why, because other people in this world view that. And it is something that they take that into consideration, unfortunately, when going on into a meeting or when thinking about another person.
Yeah, and I took that into account because I said that there are leaders that are ableist. Okay, so in the same way that there are misogynistic world leaders, there are ableist world leaders. So fucking respond to that point.
I don't understand why. So you're asking me so you're saying why would I not vote for her because she's a woman based on the view that you're stating right now, right? That's what you're asking.
So you said I'm not going to vote for a woman because there's misogyny.
No, that's not what I said. I said that I believe that Trump will be respected more by other world leaders.
That's what. Yeah, that's because of misogyny.
Right. Sure.
Okay. So do I need to restate what I said again, or do you still not understand?
I don't know.
Restate what I said one more time. One more time. One more time. One more time. Okay. Misogyny exists.
Yes.
You don't want to vote for a woman because they respect a woman less. Is that your view? Okay.
No, that's not my view. And my own personal view is I don't think she's competent enough to go into those fucking.
These people are not sentient, dude. Like I'm so fucking real, dude. Like what
Sorry,
the fuck?
man. I have
What
a
the fuck?
timer on my TikTok, so I don't like to use it for too long. So it kicked me out for 10 seconds there. But no, my view is that she's not competent enough. My view on the world is it's an unfortunate thing.
Victory.
Other people.
I responded to your original argument. What was my response to your original argument?
You used an example of Abel.
Any more elaboration on that, or is that all you've understood?
No, I get what you're saying. I completely
Then restate what I said.
I actually don't disagree with you either. That's probably why we're coming
Restate
to
what
like
I
the wall.
said.
Why would I vote for someone based on misogyny if I wouldn't vote for or if I would not use the fact that a disabled vet against them and not vote for? I understand what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
So what's the response?
I don't think she's competent enough.
Okay, so now we're moving the goalpost to something separate. Okay, what
No, just two
tells
things.
you
So,
that
like,
she's
like
not
world
competent?
leaders, like I think the misogynist, like that exists.
Sure,
in
sure.
world
Tell
leaders.
me what specifically she's not competent within.
Like literally just the way she would speak, the things that she would say, and the organization of how she would put those things together does not equal someone that I look up to as a leader.
Yeah, so when we look at the debates, Donald Trump literally said that she had an earring in her ear that gave her all the answers because she dog walked him so bad.
I saw that out there. I don't know if that was true or not. I don't think that was true.
I watched it live.
No, I watched it
Absolutely.
live too. I'm saying I don't think
dog
she
walked him.
had-
I've heard Trump supporters even say that.
I don't think that she had an earpiece in there. I read about that.
Oh yeah, the earpiece. Yeah, that's because he got dog walked.
Yeah, I don't know why he said that. I don't even know if he said that. I think that was a thing on social media. I never saw him say that.
He did say that. He said it at a rally.
When? Where?
Do you want me to tell you?
No, I'm actually curious. Yeah, I'm not. It's not that I don't believe you. I'm just curious.
Okay. Let me get Trump saying it because I've watched Trump say it. Hold up.
I wouldn't doubt it, knowing Trump. He probably saw that on social media and said something at a rally. I don't know. I honestly wouldn't doubt it personally.
Here we go. Here's Trump repeats false claim that Harris used or Harris wore audio earrings during debate. That's the title. I could also probably play a video.
It's all right. I'll look it up. What's the source?
Wait, is this it?
Tomorrow you have to stand up and
No, that's a different one. Yeah, the title was, hold up. Trump repeats false claim Harris used earpiece in debate.
Talk about Forbes.
Yep.
Yeah. I like how Forbes came out with saying that solar is the second largest paying job in America under
Sure,
half a million.
I don't know if that's true. I don't know what that. I
It
don't know
is.
about that, but like in terms of this, they're just reporting that it happened, and also like I watched it myself. Like I can verify that.
No, I don't doubt it. Especially knowing Trump as a person, he probably would say that type of shit just to cause rumbles.
All right. So is there anything else you want to talk about or add?
Anything you want to bring up, I'll talk to you about.
All right. Sure. Would you vote for someone held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman?
Well, I did vote for him, so I guess I have to answer yes to that question.
Okay. Would you vote for someone held civilly liable of sexually abusing a child?
No, of course not.
Okay. Well, what's the difference between the victim being a woman and the victim being a child? That means you'd vote for one but not the other.
I like how you push us into corners with these questions. Obviously, when it comes to sexual anything, assault against a child, assault against a woman, assault against a man, I've been sexually assaulted myself when I was 24 years old. Not
Sorry
fun.
to hear that.
It's not okay, period. And he was held civilly liable in New York, 100%. Now, I could bring up the debate of, it's New York and it's a democratic state and the jury and the judge, but I don't even believe any of that. I actually do believe EJ. I believe Carol. I believe what she said. I do. And I don't think that any of it's right. And there's nothing I can do to excuse his actions there. But again, I do think he'll be a better leader for this country. Do I look up to those parts of who he is as a person? No, of course not. I would never.
Okay, so but you voted for him in despite of those things, right? Also, like what
Despite, yeah.
what great thing about Trump is so great that it overrides all of those bad things that I just mentioned, or what's so bad about Kamala Harris that overrides what Donald Trump did?
It's something within me. I have 200 employees. I personally am a leader. When I think about a leader, she's just not one in my head. And when I think about a leader, what he does.
Donald Trump is not a leader in my head.
In mine,
If wait, so do you think that Donald Trump should be a leader of women?
Ooh, that's a good question. No, of women of the country.
So then here's my question: if the person who you put in the position of presidency cannot or should not be a leader for women, then how could they be a leader for the country? Because 50% of the country is women.
If you take out, I'm talking about what happens at the end of 4 years, at the end of his term, the things that happen for the country overall, not so much like the society and how we think and the things that we come to conclusions on and the way that we view someone. Like, sure, all of that matters. It really does matter. It makes a big difference, obviously, but he still won. He won the election. It's wild to me also. I didn't think he was going to.
No, you could say whatever, but the point I'm saying is that he is not someone we think should be a leader of women, right? Someone who has done that, someone who is at a high risk of doing that, even if you don't believe everything truly, right? It still is the case that they would not be the leader that we want for women. Now, Kamala Harris has nothing stopping her from leading men. So if it is the case that Donald Trump has that type of situation going on, but Kamala Harris doesn't, right there you just indicated Kamala Harris is a better leader, just off of that one respect, let alone the fact that Donald Trump has plenty of worse policy positions, doesn't have barely even has concepts of a plan for a healthcare policy when he was running on it for 9 years. He's been running. He still has just a concept of a healthcare policy, doesn't have a childcare policy, doesn't have a housing affordability policy, right? He ran on literally complaints. He did not run on policy.
You know, I think that Trump is the type of person, he's already kind of done it actually, to put other women in charge because he knows that that's not his role. And that's something that
is like wildly absurd. He literally advocated for women to have restricted access to abortion by leaving it up to the states. That's literally men who are predominantly making those decisions for women. If women were voting in this country,
the abortion thing.
If women were the only ones that could vote on this country on whether or not abortion was legal, it would be legal in every state. I just want to make that clear. It would be legal in every state.
No, that's something that I would argue Trump on myself is the whole entire Wade versus. I don't think that's right. I don't think what happened there is right.
Would you vote against Trump if he were advocating to restrict women's right to vote?
That's a good question as well. I probably still would have, to be honest with you.
You would vote for Trump even though he ran on repealing the 19th?
Yeah, I probably still would have. Because end of the day, if you look at what happens at the end of the fight, I actually do. I support you, bro. Like you do good, man. You do great. I still would have, because at the end of the 4 years, if I were to look at the two differences of what happened to the country, I think that he will do better. I think that Harris would have led.
Can you give me like a policy that you think he would have done better?
A policy that I think what do you mean?
Yeah, name a policy he would have done better on.
Like better than Harris on? Any foreign policy, period. I already mentioned that. Anything to do with money, 100%. Any type of economic policy.
Okay, give me one economic policy of Trump's that is so great.
Energy and fuel policy, the just simple.
Can you give me a specific policy? Because we domestically produced more oil right now than any point in American history.
Right.
We produce more oil right now than any point in American history.
Biden followed that was Trump's policy that Biden followed.
No.
He had to, because it was locked in.
No, because he signed off 50 more drilling permits. 50% more drilling permits.
Biden?
Yep.
After 6 bankruptcies. That's funny. People who don't know anything about business laugh at bankruptcies. It's the smartest thing in the world for business.
Name one good businessman with 6 bankruptcies.
Trump.
Is that all you could say? Really?
I can literally see his building out my window right now. I live in Vegas. He's a good businessman.
Did you see the truck in the strip of
yeah, that was wild.
Bryce Hall running away from Dean?
Yeah, that was wild. That was wild. I wanted to come and try and find you guys when you were out here at Dean and all those dudes.
He historically speaking, doesn't pay his contractors. Though, did you know that?
I know exactly how that happened, why it happened in the business end of it. That's not Trump. That is a business decision, and it is smart.
A smart business decision to not pay your contractors.
They got paid. They got paid one way or another.
Did they get the full amount agreed upon?
You know, I'm not sure. I'd have to look into those details. Probably not, to be honest with you. Probably not. Did they go into debt, though? No.
Do you think it's okay to not pay the full amount agreed upon on a contracting deal?
It's literally what I do for work. It's actually hilarious. It happens too often.
So you don't pay people?
No, I'm known in the solar industry to make sure people get paid. People in the solar industry, for example, right? There'll be $15,000 in commission on a deal left over. Managers end up taking too much. They put too much money back into the bank of the business to make it simple on that side, and they don't pay their sales reps the right amount that was promised, or their installers for installs in solar. It is so fucked up. I hate it. I personally am known. Yes, I own the company, Christian. I personally am known to pay everybody every cent based on the exact contract that they signed with me. So if I put myself into those, yeah, you know, he probably fucked some contractors, and that's not okay.
Yeah, all we're trying to acknowledge is that it's not okay, and like the point that I'm making is that behavior isn't just seen there. That behavior is seen across all avenues of his life.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
He does fucked up things. He doesn't acknowledge them, and he continues to do it, and he lies about them. His position before the election, right? What was it on H-1B visas? Here's the beating heart. He was against them. He was against the H-1B visas.
Well, why
now
does
he's
Harris
pro
have an
H-1B
app?
visa.
Why does Harris have an app for people to log on to and get temporary citizenship? It was wild. Or even the Biden administration.
That's through the asylum. That's through asylum process.
Dude,
It
if
has
you
nothing
want
to do with Harris.
asylum, that's actually something.
Wait. What policy did Kamala Harris pass that caused that?
Harris? It was done in California.
Oscar, thank you for the $5. Thank you so much. That's California then. That's not Harris. Trisha, thank you for the $3. Thank you so much.
It was under the Biden-Harris administration when it happened.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it was caused by him.
It wasn't Newsom. I hate Newsom. I'm from Cali. I'm from Silicon Valley.
I live in California too.
I know you do. I do not like Newsom at all. But I don't think it's okay to be sending out these debit. I mean, New York, even like 5 days after Trump won the vote, they even ended their debit card that they give out to immigrants for cash aid, EBT, medical. The amount of money that
You're referencing state policy. You're not referencing any federal policy that was caused by Kamala Harris.
Well, she was a California AG. I mean,
yeah, that doesn't mean that she caused any policy that did that.
Okay. So I guess talk about the fact that Trump doesn't want to bring them in because it wastes way too much money. That's Trump. That's a White House thing.
Okay, so it costs too much money to do what you said.
The amount of money this country spends on allowing immigrants into this country is insane.
Okay, so you understand that immigrants give more money to our economy than take from it.
If I want to look at those numbers, they actually give more. I know the numbers. They do give more.
Give more what?
They support the U.S. like what they do, but with their jobs.
Tony,
just jobs alone. It does give more than what we give them, and that is why it gets backed by Washington.
I don't know what you're saying, to be honest with you.
Immigrants come in, they work, right? They help us build.
They give more into our system than they take from it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So immigration's a good thing?
In terms of economics, they give more. In terms of what happens in this country, no, I don't believe it's a good thing at all.
How is it not a good thing?
Many different reasons. Crime, for one.
What about crime?
Parker, you know the numbers, man. This is your job. You literally know the numbers, dude.
Okay. So you say, well, yeah, the undocumented immigrants commit crimes at lower rates than natural-born U.S. citizens. Right? Undocumented immigrants provide more economically speaking.
No, I'm not talking about one being more than the other.
In terms of the economy. Immigrants, by almost every measure of economic growth, benefit us. So, like, the way that you're saying that immigrants, like, don't help us, please explain to me how. Because all I typically hear is that people who think that right? They want a particular racial demographic in the country. Rich the rock star. Like seriously, I've heard no
It's
other
not about that. I have
argumentation.
nothing against immigrants in terms of who they are as a person, you know, in terms of where they're from or a human being. But when they come to this country, more things happen. Whether they give more money economically or provide help that number go up or down in terms of economics, that's not what I'm talking about. But if we simply had a stronger border, then the things that do happen by the people who come in here and commit crimes wouldn't have happened. Period.
Yeah, you're saying that these things wouldn't have happened. What you're not acknowledging is you could say the same thing for tourism.
Yeah, but that's tourism, man. They're not coming.
Okay, so do you want to ban tourism?
When I go to Italy, I'm going there to see my family.
Because some tourists commit crime, even if it's at lower rates.
Right, but immigration system.
No, should we ban tourism because it wouldn't have happened if we didn't allow for tourism?
No, we're not talking about citizenship and living in our country, not.
Yeah, so then why is it? So then what's this argument? This argument's terrible. If we allow for more immigrants into the country, it would decrease the crime rate, unironically.
How?
Because there's a greater population of people who have an average lower rate of crime.
And I ain't talking about the numbers of that. Come on, man. The crime wouldn't have happened if they didn't come into the country. Period. Whatever they did.
Same thing with tourism. So, but you don't want to ban tourism.
I'm not talking about visiting.
You want to ban all immigration because wait, based on that argument, you could ban all immigration.
There should be.
Antonia, think of the $2. Thank you so much. What's up?
It should be correct.
What do you mean it should be correct?
If someone wants to come into this country, follow the fucking rules of how to get in. Don't just break in and then.
So if you want to tell people to follow the rules, why didn't you tell that to your fucking presidential candidate?
I wish I could, but you know, I don't have his personal number.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you didn't do that with your vote either.
No, I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I voted for Trump.
Mm-hmm.
He's just gonna make this country better at the end of the term.
How? I
trust a businessman over what. I don't even know what the fuck Harris has ever done her entire time ever in politics besides sign the infrastructure bill that made me a shit ton of money in fiber optics.
Yeah, infrastructure bill is good. What's wrong with the infrastructure bill?
That was the only good thing she did.
Okay, you could say that's the only good thing that they did. Can you name any other policy they passed?
Harris? Specifically Harris? She was a part of the, I believe the Clean Energy Act as well as the what do you call it? The debt one. I'm blanking on the name right now, but it happened during COVID. The big bill that passed during COVID to pay everything back. It also increased the solar tax credit from, ending in 2020 to.
You don't even know.
I'm just blanking on the name right now.
Mm-hmm.
I talk about it all the time.
Is there anything else you want to talk about, Arad?
No.
Appreciate you coming up.
Okay.
Hannah, thank you for the description. Thank you so much. Thank you, Hannah. All right, let's go on to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. Keep tapping that screen. Let's get to 500,000 likes. If you want to support me, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, link tree in the bio. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Okay.
All right, let's get this next person up here. Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. We are just looking for some debates, everyone. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello? All right, let's get this next person up here. Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. Josh, thank you for the subscription. Thank you so much, Josh. All right, let's get this next person up here. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Right. I'm from the UK, yeah?
Okay, thanks for telling me. Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. We are just looking for some debates.
Salam alaikum, Parker.
Did you vote Trump?
Nah, but I like you, man.
Based. Thank you. I appreciate it. Peace be with you. Appreciate the little crown. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
18.
Did you vote Trump?
Yeah, I did.
What's your birth year? We can't even do the math. Yo, what's up? How old are you? How old are you? All right, let's get this next person up here. Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. We are just looking for some debates.
Hello.
Yo, what's up? How old are you?
22.
Did you vote Trump?
As a moderate and as someone who happens to be trans, I did vote for Trump.
Okay, why so?
Besides the whole like economy, border, inflation issue, one of the reasons why I voted for Trump was because of my like criticisms against the LGBT community.
Okay. Your criticisms against the LGBTQ community means you voted against women's rights and voted for a guy held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman?
That's not what I mean. Like I'm against like I hope TikTok doesn't ban me, but like I'm against like children transitioning, trans women competing in women's sports, the they and them thing, and
Okay,
you know,
did you know that there are less than 10 trans people that are currently in the NCAA?
interesting.
Yeah, so why would we specifically look at that instead of the literally like dozens of women who have a restricted access to abortion, even in instances of rape every day?
Well, that's not. I don't know what do you mean by that.
Donald Trump put people in the Supreme Court with the explicit reason of overturning Roe versus Wade, which restricted women's access to abortion.
Yeah.
Right? Donald Trump was held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman, forcibly penetrating her against her will. Donald Trump bragged about grabbing women by the vagina without asking. He said he would date a 10-year-old girl in 10 years. Right? And
So,
your biggest priority is saying that you disagree with, say, like trans kids getting puberty blockers?
Yeah. Yeah, because I transitioned
Cis
as an
kids get
adult.
puberty blockers.
Well, did you know that type of puberty blocker is used to, especially Lupron, is used to chemically castrate P3
At different levels? You understand that different types of things that we use or different types of elements at different levels have different impacts on the human body. You know, at higher levels of water, you can die. If you drink too much water, you can die. That doesn't mean that water is bad or harmful for you.
Right, but that's like a very, you know, that's a very like serious. I don't know
It's
if I'm
pretty
not
serious that you can die from too much water.
Yeah, but it's also a very serious drug, especially if you do it as a child. You know, like hormones and things like that.
Okay. So are you saying that puberty blockers should not be allowed to be given to cis children?
To no children at all.
Oh, okay. So even children who have early puberty?
No,
No?
no.
You know how many children rely on that for early puberty?
How many?
Because it can have negative implications on their body.
Oh, well. Interesting.
So you don't care about that?
But then why put a healthy child on one?
Wait,
Like who isn't experiencing
who
early-
evaluates whether or not like someone would need it? A doctor, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then let the government not make that decision. Let the doctor do it.
True.
We're not saying that there shouldn't be a doctor or like a parent a part of the process.
Yeah.
We don't disagree with that. Obviously, they should be a part of the process. The same way that when I got Accutane when I was 16 years old, right? That was through the context of my doctor, right, and my parents, right?
But I'm also against like LGBT content being taught in like schools.
What do you mean by that?
Like-
that trans people and gay people exist?
No, the way that they like teach that, like I think that kids should like grow up and just, you know, learn to be themselves and like not have this type of content being taught to them. Like they should learn like math, reading,
What
arithmetic.
specific content?
Like there are like books, like drag queens and things like that, and like
There's a
books
book
that talk about
with a drag queen. Okay, what's wrong with that?
there's like books that like tell kids like they can transition and things like that, which is like
Okay, what's wrong with acknowledging that like being trans is okay? Person that had mustache.
that should be like something that they should learn until they're like an adult or something. I don't know.
Do you think it's okay to say in school systems that it's okay to be gay?
In the school system, like
Yeah.
in the
Is it okay?
classroom?
Yeah. Like that it's
No.
okay to be gay.
Not in the classroom, but like
No,
that should be a
you-
conversation. Like I think that should be, you know, like a conversation. If like a child is genuinely experiencing something like that, that should be a conversation between like the child and the parent or like a
Okay.
counselor, not necessarily like a teacher. You know what I mean?
Okay. So then, in terms of that, you understand that there are plenty of parents that are homophobic, right? And that conversation is not something that they can have with their parents in plenty of circumstances.
Then they'll just have to wait until they're old enough, I guess. I'm not sure.
Wait till they're old enough.
Yeah, like
So, are you saying more healthy ways of learning about these things are through the internet rather than through the school system?
no. I think like through
No.
the
So
school system.
you think through the school system would be a more reliable way of teaching people about that, right?
Not the
Okay.
content, not that, but like that. I don't know.
No, because if you don't give any resources to learn this in school, like kids are going to go to the social media, they're going to go to the internet.
I see.
So, which one do you prefer? Do you prefer kids learning about this on the internet, or do you care about providing these services so that they know what to look through, or they know that it's okay to be gay, okay to be trans, it's okay, you know, like we shouldn't stigmatize those things.
Why?
Why?
Yeah, like why do you think like it should be taught in schools?
That it's okay.
Yeah, like
Yeah, this is the same way that I think that we should teach racism is bad, right? Because these things have a fundamentally very huge impact on our society, and it is our duty to limit our citizens from being negatively impacted in such ways, right? Whether people like it or not, trans people and gay people are American citizens. They deserve dignity, right?
true.
They deserve to be treated like people. And quite frankly, saying not being like acting like it's an issue to say it's okay to be gay or okay to be trans kind of shows the exact problem I think exists. Because it's not an issue for people to say, oh, it's okay to be a part of this religion. But for some reason, it's an issue when it comes to someone being gay or someone being trans. Appreciate you're amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Silver. Thank you. And it's also not an issue when, you know, literally schools in Oklahoma are adopting like the Bible as a part of their curriculum.
Yeah, no, I don't think like religion and things like that should be taught in a public school either. Like unless it's a private school, I guess. But like other than that, I don't think.
Can you imagine if there were like schools to teach people to be gay or to teach people to be trans, how like conservatives would respond to that? But then we
They
have
would be-
schools that teach people to be Christian, right?
I feel like they would be equally just as upset
First
with
thinking
that.
lines. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. No, they wouldn't. What are you talking about? I grew up in Sunday school.
No,
went to Sunday
I'm not
school. I
talking
was
about-
taught to be Christian.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not talking about Christian schools. I'm talking about schools where you said like that try to like teach kids to like be gay or trans. Like I'm sure conservatives would be upset
Here's
with that.
something funny that Morgan said. Morgan said, I'm a high school English teacher, and I can barely get my students to read the instructions on an assignment. I definitely wouldn't be able to force them to read a book of any kind, much less one of these imaginary books that teaches kids to be gay or trans.
So, what are your thoughts on like the whole bathroom situation or the locker rooms?
Well, it seems like both sides should be okay with it because it is the case that Trump was completely okay with Caitlyn Jenner, right, going into the women's restroom in Trump Tower. Secondly, I would say that it is actually more harmful to force people who are trans to go into like the bathrooms that do not represent their identity because one, it puts trans people at greater risk. And two, because trans men who are more masculine presenting would be going into women's restroom under the opposing view, right? Which would mean that there's more masculine presenting individuals going within the women's restroom. Because
So,
trans women are typically more feminine presenting than trans men are.
so
Trans men are significantly more masculine presenting.
yeah. Do you think there should be like a third space, like a single-use space for us to use?
I mean, if there's a gender, I'm okay with gender neutral bathrooms, but I don't know why we would make like a third one just for trans people or say that trans people have to use the third bathroom.
Yeah, well, not necessarily like exclusively just for trans people, but like I guess make more like single-use, like unisex bathrooms or like family bathrooms, like more accessible and more public.
Oh, gender neutral. So what's the issue with? Okay, so then you could just ask the question in general. Why don't we just make bathrooms in general gender neutral?
Well, I don't use the term gender neutral because there's only two genders, a man and a woman. I don't believe in that.
You don't think other cultures have other like genders?
Well, I'm
How are you going to
I'm
say that
Hindu. I'm Hindu,
only?
so I'm aware. Sorry.
Okay. So
I'm-
there's not just two genders. there's multiple different genders depending on the culture. Now, I would agree with the statement that typically within our society we designate two genders. Like I wouldn't dispute that, but we also have to acknowledge that there's other cultures that exist.
But like, but I don't think they're necessarily. You could argue that those are like gender expressions, but I wouldn't necessarily say that they're like multiple genders in terms of like biological schmecks.
Oh, we're not. I don't think gender's biological always.
You don't-
Like I think there's a usage of gender that can be biological, but then there's also a usage of gender that can be sociological.
So you think it's a social?
Deborah, I think of the dollar. Yeah, in some circumstances, I think it's sociologically based, predicated like our desires to be in accordance with particular sets of characteristics that are typically associated with a sex, right? Like it's our just desire to be in accordance with those. Now, it's not something that applies in every circumstance, but we can use it in some circumstances, and then we're going to have conceptual overlap with different definitions. There's not just one definition that applies in every circumstance for what a man or what a woman is in a biological or in a social sense.
Fair enough. Well, thank you for having me and sharing your perspective on it. I'm sorry I was like so mouthy at first, but
don't worry.
thank you for
Appreciate
having
you
this
coming up.
conversation with me. Have a good one.
You as well. Emily, thank you so much for the $15 for education. Thank you so much, Emily. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. That's very, very kind of you. Let's get this next person up here. Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. We are just looking for some debates. Kate, thank you so much for the dollar. Thank you so much. All right, let's get this next person up here. Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. Again, everyone, we are just looking for some debates. Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
21.
Did you vote Trump?
Yeah.
Why so?
Because I want the JFK and the Epstein files released.
Okay, well, what state do you live in?
Oklahoma,
What time is it?
8 a.m.
See, Jesus Christ, it's not even close, bro. That's MAGA math. That's MAGA math. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 43.
Did you vote Trump?
No, I actually was going to, but you
I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. We are just looking for people who did vote Trump in our debating. What's up? How old are you? All right. Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. Ramon, thank you so much. I appreciate the galaxy. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. They changed your mind, W. Parker, give him a second. Hey, well, I mean, I'm just going to let people know that this is like a debate stream. I do get people up who debate. If you don't meet the criteria, I'm going to kick you. Like, that's just how it works. I do appreciate everyone, of course, but just making it clear. Like, I do get debates and whatnot up here.
Hello?
Thank you so much for the $5. Thank you so much. And I have to keep it going. Did you vote Trump?
Yes, can you hear me?
Why so?
What's up?
Did you vote Trump?
I did, yeah, can you hear me?
How old are you?
21.
Okay, what's your birth year?
January 1st, 2004, my boy. Turned 21 3 days ago.
Oh, nice. Okay, so why did you vote Trump?
I did not like the messaging from the Harris campaign at all.
Okay, on what?
I thought most of the messaging through their advertising was generally not to my liking. In several ads, they leveraged sex against the male population in this country, basically suggesting that you weren't going to get laid if you didn't vote for Kamala, which I think is a weak strategy and seeks to exploit like a very private.
Well.
Well, you're the debate guy. What's the argument here?
Well, you are going to be less likely.
I understand that, but the incumbent administration should not be saying that you're not going to get pussy if you don't vote for our candidate.
I think that's a crazy way to say it, but yeah, of course.
Wait, that's what they're saying, though. How is that crazy if that's what they're saying?
You are going to be less likely. That's just a fact.
I'm saying, like, in what?
Like, I'm just going to be totally honest with you. I promise you, you're going to be less likely to be able to engage with women because women are less likely to want to engage with you.
Sure. Well, if you want to say that because Trump is anti-abortion and women are generally more in favor of that, you're going to be less likely to have relations with women because of that political disagreement, then that's one thing. But I think when you distill that down to like you can't fuck girls because you're not voting for us, like that's not effective political messaging.
What did they say specifically?
So there were
Roxy,
two.
think of $1.
Well, I mean, it's funny because, being paid off by the DNC, you'd think you'd be better at knowing this stuff. But the first thing.
You think I'm paid by the DNC?
Oh, I know you are, bro.
Okay, what evidence do you have of that?
You, Sisson, the other white guys for Harris. Like, you think you're paying for your own plane tickets? Is that coming out of your pocket? I don't think these galaxies are paying for the plane tickets, bro.
Unironically, they are.
Okay, all right. Well, listen, that's good for you.
I mean, to the White House, I literally paid for my own ticket. Yeah,
you did.
I paid for mine, my girlfriend's.
Good for you, then.
I paid for my own area to stay. I paid for all my Ubers.
Okay, sure. All right. You know what? There we go. That's how we do it right there. That's how we play. Good grifting, then. Anyway,
grifting. So it's either I'm paid by the DNC or I'm grifting.
That was a joke. A joke. That's a joke. Don't.
So do you think I'm not paid by the DNC, or do you still think I'm paid by the DNC?
I just kind of said that. I've seen it float around, but to me, how much it pertains to the debate is very little to me. I just threw that out there.
Okay. Merry Griftmas.
Okay, so I mean, the ads that I was talking about, there's two of them. So one of them was
Think of the Galaxy. Thank you so much.
There's one of them where it's a bunch of girls lined up and they have balloons. Guy comes in. And one of the girls is like, who'd you vote for? He's like, I'm not sure. They all pop the balloons, right? The writing on the wall there is so obvious, which is that you will have trouble as a man getting pussy if you don't say what we...
I don't think you should phrase it that way. I think that the way that they're trying to show you...
That's how they're phrasing it. That's what they're doing.
Let me show you. No, it's not that you won't quote unquote get pussy, bro. Like, that's such a cringe way of fucking saying that. It's that women won't want to talk to you or be with you, or even take into account dating you, if it is the case that you vote for someone who actively goes against their rights, who actively was held civilly liable of forcibly penetrating a woman's vagina against her will, who actively brags about grabbing women by the vagina and walking into changing rooms of naked teenage girls who they quote unquote own the place and saying that they dated a 10-year-old girl in 10 years. That's what women won't engage with. Misogyny is a turnoff. That's what they're showing you. Now, you could take it as, they're saying that, I'm not going to get any pussy because that's all you fucking saw, right? But you didn't take into account all the other things that are referenced. You didn't take into account all the other things that are relevant there, because women are not looking for that. Women are looking for relationships. And when you specifically go against their rights, when you actively show that you do not give a shit about women, they clearly are going to
listen, my boy.
That.
Listen. The other ad that this is paid for by the Harris campaign was guy goes to sit down at a restaurant for a date. Girl asks the same question, who are you voting for? He gives a non-answer of I haven't decided yet. Girl gets up and leaves, right? I think
who came up with these ads? These are fucking amazing ads. These are incredible, dude.
All right, once you're done soying out, we can continue. So, dude, these ads are
great
so
ads.
Buggers.
These are fucking amazing ads.
Keep it in your pants, bro. Listen, keep it in your pants.
They're really fucking good ads, dude.
I'm sure that's
Brianna,
why she won,
thank you so much. I appreciate the $20. Right? Thank you so much, Brianna. I really appreciate that.
They're such great ads. That's why she won.
Roxy, thank you for the $1. Iron, thank you for the $1. Thank you so much. Now, just because it is the case that she didn't win doesn't mean that they aren't good ads. Secondly, you understand the reason why specifically...
That's literally what that means.
Hey, listen. The reason why specifically she lost is because people attributed inflation to the incumbent president, right? That was going to be true regardless of whether or not she was the candidate. David, thank you for the superpower. So if it is the case that that wasn't true, she would have fucking won the election.
It's multifaceted, but I'm telling you, when you are the product being sold through advertising, and no one buys the product and they buy the opposite product, which is Trump, that means your advertising failed. That's what that means. And I'm telling you, as someone who didn't vote for Kamala, that's part of why.
No, it doesn't. It
yes,
something
it does.
unrelated
Why
to
do you
their
think they put money into
Let me
this?
explain. The reason why is it's unrelated to their advertisement, because it is the case that that's going to be true regardless of their advertisement, regardless of their candidate. Yes. It's going to be true regardless, because people attribute inflation to the incumbent president. Now, that happened across the entire world. There was an entire fucking Democratic vote against incumbent presidencies. And that's not because it is the case that they actually didn't have a good campaign. It's because it is the case that people attributed inflation to the incumbent president because they didn't fully listen in the context of an economics course or a statistics course, or they didn't have one in high school because Republicans underfunded their education systems.
Okay, so if you
Nick,
want to
thank
look
you
at,
so much for the $5.
if you wanna
Thank you,
look at the-
Adrian. Thank you for the $5. Thank you so much. Roxanne, thank you for the $10. Thank you so much.
okay, if you want to look at the underlying circumstances that
They said you're the
were-
final boss of insecurity.
in what way?
Oh, they just said that. That's all I said.
Okay, the final boss. That makes sense. Okay, so if you want to look at the underlying sort of like pie chart graph of what the things are that the incumbent president is going to have on their hands, whether that's a bad economy, a bad immigration system, whatever. Yes, obviously these things you can't, they're always going to be like at play. But you can't just say the economy as if that's like the only thing. Like you don't think immigration was like, if not one of the biggest things Trump ran on?
Yeah, I think immigration is derivative of the economic related issues because immigration was a byproduct of inflation that was global that created economic insecurity and increased the likelihood that people would come to the United States for economic security because the United States was doing better in terms of inflation than plenty of different countries around the world. Secondly, Donald Trump called for people in Congress to undermine a bipartisan border bill that would have made the situation at the border better.
Okay, so you're not explaining the actual anxiety among Americans as to why they voted Trump with immigration, because the people who voted against immigration weren't doing so thinking about how the global economies were unrested and they had to do what they
No,
thought
I'm not
was right.
saying that they thought that. What I'm saying is this is the reason that led them to that thought. That's what you're misunderstanding with what I'm trying to explain here, is I'm explaining why specifically it led there.
Right, I'm telling you that people don't care. And the referendum of that was
Thank you for
obvious.
the $5. Thank you so much, Amber. Thank you for the $5. Thank you so much. So you say the referendum on that? You're just not listening to anything that's being referenced. That's like saying the 2020 election was a referendum on Donald Trump's character in specific, right? Sure, it has huge portions of it, but it was mainly.
You don't believe that?
Mainly,
You're a Democrat and you don't believe that?
Can I explain?
Go for it.
Yeah, so it was mainly a response to the economic conditions that were negative because of the pandemic. That was the main sway in terms of the election. Now, obviously, it's multifaceted. That's going to have some level of impact, but it was not the main determinant factor. The main determinant factor was absolutely the economic conditions that existed by virtue of the pandemic.
Right.
Like, that's undisputed.
Okay. I mean, yeah, the pandemic
You're putting too much of your pennies in the basket that says that it's predicated off of the way that they ran the campaign in these situations. Now, there could be things that impacted that, but it's mainly going to be things that are unrelated to how they ran the campaign.
Right. Well, obviously. Well, because, average people like who work jobs who are older than us, because we're Gen Z, we're Zoomers, when they're older, they're more focused on things and not like literal these tangible things such as like the tax system, things that they directly are affected by in their day-to-day, where when I'm younger and I have less responsibilities, the general attitudes towards the demographics in this country, I notice more and I don't like, right? Because being in a time where the culture has been so unrested, like you can look at how these campaigns are, what their messaging is about the culture, and that's how you would vote, which is one thing. So listen, obviously I'm not putting all my pennies in the campaign stocks, right? But because of that, I actually want to talk to you about immigration because, look, I don't know if you've been paying attention to Twitter and you've seen the sort of MAGA civil war, but I don't like that Trump flip-flopped on the H-1B visa programs. I don't know, how do you feel about that?
I mean, I'm in support of H-1Bs. I don't disagree with them. I actually disagree with people like Bernie on this.
Really?
I think Bernie's lost right now, honestly.
Bernie's goated. Bernie's goated for this.
Well, I disagree with him on this. Like, I think that his messaging, although it's probably good for politics, I disagree with specifically.
Okay.
It's really good for politics, actually. He's undercutting a huge portion of the MAGA base. So in terms of politics, I agree with it. But in terms of the actual position, I disagree with it because I think H-1B is good. I don't think immigration is bad. Push the level up. I disagree with the messaging that immigration brings down the wages of Americans. I think that's just how the market works, right? And you don't want competition, we want competition. That's a good thing.
Well, right? Yeah. Well,
and then secondly, I don't think it's an issue to incentivize people with high skills to come to the United States.
Okay. Well, I think you
increase productive capacity.
You just disproved yourself with the 2 points you just made. You said you don't think it undercuts American wages and American jobs, but then you also said it's not bad to get people that are better than Americans to America.
No, that's not what I said.
That's
I
literally
said
what
high
you just
skill.
said.
That's not what I just said. But I did not say better than Americans. I said high skill.
Okay, yeah, high skill relative to
How does that
Americans.
mean better than Americans?
Yes, wait. The only reason
skill within particular things.
The only
Or
metric that you can
victory?
measure the skill is against
Oh wait,
Americans.
cheats. Let me clarify this. So do you understand that if you say better in the context of a certain skill, that does not mean better as a whole? Do you understand the distinction?
Yeah, of course.
I'm not saying they're more valuable or better as a person, the galaxy.
That's not what I'm saying either.
But I think that they do have more skill in that than the typical American. Okay. Absolutely, that's the whole point of the H-1B visa program.
So then, how could you also not believe that because of that they are more valuable, and because they can be paid less than Americans and be held hostage with citizenship, then they won't get paid less?
I think that you shouldn't be able to hold people hostage to their citizenship, but
that's what the program incentivizes.
Push the level up. So then you can disagree with certain aspects of it. You don't disagree with the idea behind it, right?
I do though.
You don't understand the distinction?
No, I do disagree with the thing behind it. Well,
and also, secondly, when you say hostage, what do you mean?
I mean that basically people are going to, when they're on this program, they're being basically subject to worse working conditions and lower wages because they have to, because that's what their citizenship is predicated on, that they're working at this job. So they're going to have to deal with more bullshit because
lower wages and worse working conditions.
That's
so
true.
Based on what characteristics are you saying? Based upon comparative to a person that's already in that job, or based upon the average worker in the U.S.?
Compared to the person who's already in this job, yeah.
Okay, so you say they have worse labor conditions, worse levels of pay.
Yep.
Okay. In terms of working conditions, can I have a source on that one?
Yeah. So this is an a priori thing where you can imagine someone who is here.
What's a priori? It's not empirical. That's an empirical claim.
Well, you're telling me that if I can bring someone here and I can bring someone to Candyland, but the only thing
let me clarify. You said there are worse working conditions. Is that an empirical claim? Yes or no?
I'm sure you can find instances of it. Like if you take Patrick
is that
David,
an empirical claim? Is that an empirical claim?
Listen, I'm on my phone walking. I don't have a chart in front of me.
Yes, it's an empirical claim.
Oh, are you
asking about the conditions that exist? That's an empirical claim.
Okay, well, first of all, your issue is that nice stutter from me. Holy. Okay, your problem with this is that you're trying to. This is the thing is like you're trying to measure something that in order to measure, you can't do it because it's under a false pretense.
Well, then you're making a claim that's unfalsifiable because you're saying that you can't measure the conditions that exist, yet you're claiming the conditions are worse off. Do you understand? You can't make the claim then. You just critiqued yourself. You said you cannot make the claim because you do not have knowledge on how to evaluate whether or not the conditions of the worker are worse, particularly in those conditions.
Right.
Now, if the conditions are worse, I'd like to address that and say, let's make sure that they have to apply the same conditions.
If the
wages are worse, let's ensure that they have to pay the market rate of every other American that's already in the market. Secondly, you understand that obviously if there's a greater labor force that you are applicable to, that you can specifically hire, the level of wage for the overall market would be lower. Not just specifically for that worker, for the overall market. Now, can you say that undercuts workers around the world? Sure, but that's such a reductive way of saying it because you can say the same thing for allowing states to engage in trade, allowing for people to go from one state to another one.
Well, that's yeah.
And
well,
then that
just reduces you down because that's a domestic issue versus an international issue.
Okay, but what you're not understanding is that you're undercutting the wages of people in Iowa versus in Illinois.
Right, and that's
because you're allowing people in Illinois to go to Iowa and to be workers in Iowa.
Because that, at the end of the day, that benefits Americans who can just go from state to state. It doesn't benefit Americans who are going to import like 1 million Indians or something.
And are immigrants to the United States Americans?
Well, I think it depends. If they're illegal, then no.
No,
if they're undocumented,
people through this visa program, are they going through a legal immigration process?
I mean, this is sort of the question of like what is an American? Like, I think
so what they're doing
on an airplane to do graphic design, like you're not really an American.
So again, if it is the case that they go through the system, they go through the legal process to get in the country, right? Would you then say it is the case that they are an American citizen? So are you then saying that the immigration program that exists is a good program because it benefits Americans?
No, because you're viewing Americans as this like abstract label that can be dragged.
So you don't think immigrants are Americans? That's your view.
I think you can't. Well, the problem is what you're using American. You're using it in a different way that I am. Okay, I'm using it in this like blood and soil.
I know. Just real question: do you consider immigrants Americans?
This is a false choice. You're saying like it's either a yes or a no when it's like
Yes, it is. Immigrants are either Americans or they're not Americans.
define American.
Yeah, so a citizen of the United States.
Okay, yeah. Are they citizens? Yeah. Yeah, they're citizens. Like they have the sheet of paper that says like, yeah, I'm allowed to be here. You can do your millennial like face zoom thing, but it doesn't actually make.
How else do you define an American?
Right, but okay, so like if let me ask you this, okay? And I want you to
be
genuinely
description. Thank you so much.
Be good faith here, okay? Let's say we took 30 million for
Wait, but before you do, Ryan, thank you for the $5 for your next flight to the White House. Keep it up, brother. Thank you so much, Ryan. Tessa with the $45 for Happy New Year's to you and Marge. Thank you so much, Tessa. Thank you so much. Squeeze some W's for the $45 from Tessa. Thank you so much on Venmo. I really appreciate it. Adrian, thank you so much. I appreciate the $45 on Cash App. Can we get some W's for Tessa, W's for Adrian? Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, y'all.
This is a real question, okay? If you were to take 30 million Chinese people currently living in China, and then you grant them all citizenship in America, would you say they're all Americans?
Yes.
That's just retarded. Like,
you
what?
use slurs, bro? How about we deport you, bro? Deport people who use slurs in the United States. Please deport them. I do not like people who say slurs. Let's deport them. They're not American.
Vexbolts is at 1 million. Let's keep it going, guys.
Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello?
Can I say why I support Trump?
Did you vote Trump?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your age?
I'm 27.
Okay. Why do you support Trump?
So I'm like a garbage man, and like I care more about like what's more important for like the working class than like more niche issues.
Mm-hmm. Can you name one policy that Donald Trump influenced to get passed that benefit the middle class more than it benefit rich people?
I mean, like, no, bro, but like I just feel as though he like appeals to me more than like the rich, bro.
Are you trolling?
Nah, man.
Nah, come on. I actually think you're trolling. You know that his policy
I'm not.
His
Okay,
policy
I'll try.
literally would increase taxes on you, and it would decrease taxes on rich people. You know that, right?
I remember when John Trump's like
What
first
state
like
do you live in?
Oklahoma.
Okay, what time is it? Come on.
So I'm actually from Glasgow, but yeah.
Do you tap the screen? Let's get to 1 million likes. Fill the bar a few times to help get out to more people. If you want to support me, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, Linktree in the bio, everyone. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Rihanna with the $75 on Venmo. Thank you so much. Can we get some W's for Rihanna in the comments section right now? Thank you so much, Rihanna, for the $75 on Venmo for Keep It Up. Thank you so much, Rihanna. Let's get some W's for them in the comments section. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And Sayibatu, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correct. Thank you for the $1. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 50. I'm old as hell.
Did you vote Trump?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Immigration only. Listen, no other policy. It's a standalone issue.
Okay. Name one border policy you like of Donald Trump's.
New policy or old policy?
Any.
Specifically a paper policy. I like his aggressive attitude. He's not done a lot. I like that he shut the down board. I like that the fear of him from Mexicans or Mexico slows immigration down just by
fear of him from Mexicans. Yeah, I don't think that my girlfriend, who's a U.S. citizen, U.S. born citizen, should be afraid of the president of the United States.
Okay,
she's a Mexican American.
Not afraid.
Right?
I'm sorry. Maybe not afraid. I'm saying immigration actually slowed down, and people in like the caravans and the number of people coming, they're like, oh, we better wait. Trump's president.
Did you know that there are lower levels of border crossings right now than there were at the end of Trump's administration?
Right now, currently, yes.
Yep. Okay.
But you do know that what I'm saying is true, right? That that like groups.
You didn't name a policy though. I asked you for a single border policy that you like of Donald Trump's, and you didn't name a specific policy.
I do concede the fact that he doesn't really have a grasp on having a good policy. I mean, I can't agree and say that the wall would slow things down. So I can't say the wall policy. Didn't he shut the border down at one point during his presidency? Didn't he shut it down?
Through you're saying Title 42?
Yeah.
That was COVID emergency policy. That has nothing to do with him. It has to do with Congress. And Title 42, I'm pretty sure, was also in place under the Biden's administration for a little bit.
Okay, so looking forward is the reason I'm saying it's a standalone reason. I'm nowhere else with him. You know what I'm saying? I'm a standalone issue.
Yeah, but like in terms of the border, if we don't know a single policy as it relates to the border, then that's probably a pretty big issue. That can't be like your sole reason as to why you voted for him. And if you can't elucidate on a specific policy, why would you overlook all of the other negative traits that exist for Donald Trump? Because I guarantee you've heard me over and over and over and over again talk about all of the negative traits of Donald Trump's character.
Yeah, his character is in the
terrible, right? So like if you can't specifically mention a policy, well then that probably doesn't give you good enough reason to vote for someone with such a terrible character, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, technically. I mean, come on, man. But looking forward, is he going? What I mean, aren't we? I mean, would you agree that we should fix immigration? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Looking forward, what was Harris's policy going forward?
The bipartisan border bill. So let me give you an example of what was in it. It even had conservative compromises.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. It capped the amount of people coming into the country. It made it harder for people to go through the asylum process if they didn't have not a legitimate claim. They increased the amount of border agents. They increased the amount of immigration judges to make the system go faster and to make it safer. They built more wall than they would build more wall than Trump ever built under his administration. Right, those were things that existed in the border bill. It was a conservative leaning border bill. That was her plan.
The one that he had shut down or whatever a year ago. Yeah. And so if she had won, let's say she won, so they were gonna just bring that back to the table essentially. If they had Congress, I mean, how would that have went down? I mean, yeah, Trump shut it down, but say she won. So going into her presidency, had she won, she would just bring that, they would try and renegotiate and bring that bill back to the table.
Absolutely.
And then would have rolled that. So
they probably wouldn't have got as many conservative aspects of the bill.
Okay.
Because that bill had a lot of conservative elements, right? That was a good bill for a conservative, right?
So
they should have wanted that bill, and then maybe they could do more conservative stuff in the future, but they should have wanted that bill.
So he'll just try and bring that back and then take credit for it, essentially.
Well, he can't, because Democrats will not vote for it. They will not give up those concessions now, because Donald Trump was not willing to engage with them when it was able to actually get done. They're significantly less likely to compromise now. And that's the issue with how Donald Trump engages in politics. He cares more about getting elected than actual compromise. He cares more about being elected than actually fixing things. Because fundamentally, he had a bill that would have gotten everything he wanted, the biggest bill in the past 20, 30 years. And he shot it down because he cared more about being elected and running on the border being an issue than actually fixing the conditions of the border. And that's real.
Right. I agree with that. So this slim majority in Congress won't be enough for him to take that bill and then turn it over.
No.
In the Senate. You know, I'm going to listen, Parker, listen. I'm going to be honest with you. You know, I just heard that trans person on there kind of punching themselves in the face. And that was even confusing me, because I'm telling you, I hear what you're saying. And I was at Home Depot parking lots interviewing illegal immigrants who told me they were voting for Trump. And I'm not making that up. I'm not making a joke. The video is even on my page. It's just, oh man, you know, listen. I'm in LA. I think you're in California. I voted for Rick Caruso. I know this isn't off topic either. Karen Bass has been our mayor for two years now. And last week she lied and said that we've turned the corner with the homeless problem because they have some kind of fake number that says we're 233 less homeless people now, when at least that many homeless people died. And how do you count 71,200 people and then 2 years later count 71,000 people? But my point is, I'm just worried that on the Democratic side, there's a lot of air being blown, meaning I knew Karen Bass was going to be a bit of a political hack and that things wouldn't change, and things haven't changed. And so my point of voting for Rick Caruso is the same for homelessness, is kind of the same reason I was leaning on Trump for one issue, which was
Sure. So what is Rick Caruso going to do for homelessness?
he did have specific policy plans. I don't know if you're in LA or where you're in California, but
I live in Los Angeles. What specifically did Rick Caruso have?
he was specifically he had plans to build large communities of tiny homes.
We already had that. I literally drive past tiny homes all the time.
Right. So I feed the homeless on Christmas. I go to Skid Row every Sunday. I know where the veteran small home community is in North Hollywood. I know where the one is in the Veterans Row, right on San Vicente Boulevard. So I'm really in touch with all of it. So yes,
Are you saying he would expand the current tiny homes that already exist?
Yeah, he was going to build way more. He had a plan for 30 during his campaign. He had specific plans. I'd have to go look at the numbers, but it was like 30,000 new tiny homes. He had a price for them. If you go down to Skid Row, like I do every Sunday, I see you down there. I'll be down there tomorrow again doing lives. If you go into the buildings, so the Cecil Hotel is now a homeless a building. It's only for homeless. They won't even let me in. He came out last week and said, I can't let you in here. It's only for the homeless, which is weird to me. Why can't I go in and look? But so I went into a couple of the other buildings like the Cecil that are old rundown buildings on Skid Row and interviewed 2 homeless ladies who let me go do a whole tour. They all have staph infections on their legs. The buildings are riddled with diseases. There is drug activity and gang activity happening. So and you know that we squandered
So you know what we need? We need social programs.
We do.
Benefit people. And it sounds like Republicans are the ones that are not engaging in those types of social programs. Republicans typically, right, they do not engage in them, and they specifically want to cut the spending that is being given to people who are homeless. So I don't think that's actually going to do that. Secondly, there's plenty of things that Bass has done that specifically were to limit homelessness. There have been executive directives specifically to build more housing. She has advocated for increases in tiny homes and helped specifically follow through with the tiny home initiative, like literally in the first place. We can point to plenty of things.
Let me point a couple more things.
These just take time to actually follow through with, and oftentimes they rely on the people within certain districts to actually follow through with the overall funding. Like, for example, Gavin Newsom has already directed funding to help with homelessness in California, yet district areas specifically have not been addressing it or haven't been specifically upfront or clear with where the money is going. Now, that's something that I think needs to be addressed. Like, if we're spending this money, every single dollar needs to be accounted for. And that doesn't just go for this, that goes for every single aspect of the federal government's spending. Every dollar should be accounted for, point blank, period.
True. We have a lot of missing money right now regarding all of that. And I agree. Maybe you do have to take 2 steps backwards to get the first step forward. So maybe 2 years is not fair for Karen. Maybe that's not fair. But here are some other things. So
that could be one thing, but 2 is also like, what would Rick Caruso have done that Karen Bass hasn't done? That would indicate there would be much of a difference from what we currently see right now, because there is a lot of bureaucratic mess within the context of our system that limits certain people from being able to address these problems as quickly as we would like.
I don't disagree with that. I kind of feel like it's almost a point of no return problem for both sides. I think it was just a change issue. Well, let's see what somebody can do as opposed to being able to prove it. Like, one of my issues is somebody taught me a long time ago. My first apartment in LA 20 years ago was $450. Now I'm spending $2,800. That's way too much, way too fast.
Well, what year was it?
2000.
2000, you paid $400?
$450 for my first apartment here. And my second, and then we rented a house, same year. We rented a house in Studio City.
Well, I would clarify. You're probably renting different things. Like, you're probably renting, say, a 1-bedroom studio versus renting specifically like a house, right?
Well, we rented a house for $1,200 the same year. 2-bedroom house with a little back house, Studio City, Laurel.
So 24 years ago, it was $1,200.
$1,200 for a house. Then when I moved out of there, I rented a studio apartment in Sherman Oaks a year later for $550. And that's how fast it's ramped up to where it is now. Like it flipped. And here's one of the reasons why. The numbers say that there's about 1.8 million illegal immigrants in the San Fernando Valley. I don't know how familiar you are with the San Fernando Valley, but there are a lot of communities out there.
Tim, it is absolutely not related to undocumented immigrants. Undocumented immigrants do not cause the prices to go up. Okay, we can talk about real causes as to why the particular pricing went up, but you are absolutely wrong in saying it's undocumented.
Hear me out. If there's 1 million illegal immigrants in the San Fernando Valley, and many of them living 8, 9, 10 people at a time in an apartment, so they can afford that rent, you don't think that drove rent up because of supply and demand? You don't think if they were...
So let's run that through. Do you think that there's a greater supply of housing, given that there's a greater level of productive capacity of the economy, given that there's more people inside of the economy?
If you removed all 1.8 million and put all of those units on the market,
I would like a response to what you said.
By $700 to $800 minimum.
Hey Tim, what you're not understanding is you're not looking at long-term implications of the effect on the supply. Appreciate the paper crane. You're only looking at the effect on demand. Okay, so let's take a look at the effect on supply. There's a greater level of people within the economy that increases the productive capacity of an economy. So not only would the demand increase, but also the supply would.
Okay.
Eliza, thank you so much for the $30 on Venmo. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. W's for Eliza in the chat for the $30. Thank you so much.
W Eliza. So do you think that Americans don't want to do the jobs that they're doing?
I'm not necessarily claiming Americans don't want to do certain jobs. I'm claiming that greater level of people increases productive capacity of economy.
And keep in mind, I'm only on this one issue with you, Parker. Otherwise, I'm with you the rest of the way. Okay, brother? The illegal community in the San Fernando Valley has driven the price down in my business for 20 years. That's a fact. What I charge $225 a month to do, an illegal will do for $80 to $120. And that
so here's my question. Are they causing the prices to go up, or are they causing them to go down? Can you tell me?
Causing them to go down.
Wait, I thought you just argued that they caused prices to go up.
No. I'm saying I provide a service. That service is a weekly service that costs a residential customer $225 a month. Illegal immigrants come in, don't pay the taxes on it, don't file the paperwork, aren't a legal business, and they charge that same person the same service. They only charge them $100 a month to do it.
How about this? I have a great fix for you. You want to know something crazy? Give undocumented immigrants who are not committing violent crimes or bad crimes a pathway to citizenship. Then how are they going to undercut you? They're legal. They're not going to undercut you any differently than any other citizen.
That's a terrible argument.
No, it's not. It's a perfectly great argument.
Well, how are you going to turn that over?
Okay, you understand that if they are legal, they wouldn't be able to demand the same wage because there's a minimum wage. Also, if they're legal, it gives them less of an incentive to decrease the price that they're offer or they're willing to take.
Yeah,
they'll have a greater likelihood of accepting a greater wage if it is the case that they had citizenship.
Right. Your argument is basically where we start, which is if they weren't here, this wouldn't be happening.
No, my point is that they can come and we can still have good market conditions. Also, why is it that we always blame the immigrant rather than blaming the person who is the capitalist hiring them? Why do we always blame the person trying to come here for a better life and never blame the person that's trying to make money off of undercutting you?
Yes, we're on the same page. Why are we not fining employers $100,000 when they hire an illegal immigrant?
Harmony, thank you for the $2. Thank you so much. I am totally in 100% on the same sort of thing as you. If you're going to blame someone, if you're going to give consequences for this, give it to the person hiring them that is paying them less.
And I don't
not give it to the undocumented immigrant. Give the undocumented immigrant a pathway to citizenship. Treat people humanely, and you can give consequences for people who are doing things that are illegal, right? And not for a better life, just to literally undercut you.
Agreed. And I don't want to use the word blame. I'm just saying how how the market is driven down and how I struggle because of it. So I agree with you. If they were all legal and had to necessarily disagree with you on much. It's on the immigration. So I'm going to admit to you right now, I also have a seasonal gig, and I have in the season of Christmas hired guys at a Home Depot parking lot to come and work for me for a month. And I have had extensive interviews with them. They've even done them on camera. And I'm going to tell you what's happening. Many of the guys who come across the border aren't interested in becoming American citizens. In fact, they work, they take the cash, and they send it back to Mexico where their family still is. And they use that money to build a house. And they tell me in 10 to 15 years, they're going to go back and retire. So all of this untaxed money, all of this undocumented money is just going right to Mexico, where they will return to Mexico. And so
here's my question. Are you hiring undocumented immigrants?
How did I start that statement to you? I just said, I'm going to admit right now of being part of the problem. Okay? I just admitted it. And
here's my question. Here's my question. Do you think that you should be fined?
Yes. I think there should be a penalty for doing it. If there was a penalty for doing it, Parker, I wouldn't hire him.
Tim, do you think that you should be fined $100,000?
But Parker, you're blowing by what I just said.
Well,
What
I'm just saying,
percentage
I don't
is
think
fine?
typically someone comes on my live advocating for themselves to be fined $100,000. That's I'm gonna be totally honest with you, Tim.
But Parker,
that is a
I'm telling you,
first.
if I am advocating for that to be I think the rich people who all have illegal housekeepers at their houses, they should be fined. And if say you deported them all and they were like, oh my God, who's going to mow the grass? Well, me and you both from Iowa, brother. I don't know if your parents made you mow the grass, but I grew up, I mowed the grass. You know what I'm saying?
So how about we just give people pathway to citizenship, right?
I
think the whole I think the whole argument of if you deport people, how are we going to have people to do this? Now, I think it's people are coming at it with good intentions, but I don't think it's like a good argument to make, because I also think that it argues that like undocumented immigrants are sort of a monolith, that they only do one type of labor. Which just is also not true. Undocumented immigrants don't do just like one type of labor. They work within plenty of different industries.
Sure.
So I think it's good I think it's bad not to address it from that perspective. I think it's good to address that like it's not just going to be like that people who are undocumented do construction or do housekeeping or something.
I'm just talking about a particular industry. Of course, you know the numbers in Los Angeles. If you look at the racial dot map, you'll see that the San Fernando Valley is majority Hispanic. They do everything. They sell you your car insurance. I mean, they're everything.
Wait, what's wrong with people being Hispanic?
Nothing's wrong with people being Hispanic. I'm raised by Hispanics, my brother, in Iowa. My best friends are Hispanic. Their parents immigrated here illegally. And they're all supporting Trump.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So let's address this. So like again, we didn't really provide any good reasons. Like, let me give you an example though. How is Trump going to mass deport 20 to 30 million people?
He's not. He's not. It's a pipe dream. It's not going to happen. I understand that.
So do you admit that he's like lying for votes?
Yes, I do.
Then how can you trust anything he says?
I don't trust anything he says. Okay. But listen, you have to, you're an intelligent guy. So you have to have an understanding of why disenfranchised young white men all over the country elected this guy. And a lot of them are African-American and Hispanics. And even you had a trans girl on here a minute ago who just told us.
So Tim, the reason is because people are misinformed. People are susceptible to misinformation.
Yeah.
Where it's normalized in our society to view people who are in support of MAGA ideology unless they have a harmful context, because we know so many people that have those views. Because these views are really harmful, and we're going to look back on this in 10, 15 years, 20 years from now, and we're going to see how harmful it was for what it truly was, rather than like this distorted image we have right now because we currently live within the society.
I see everybody hating me in the comments. Can we not blow over the one thing I want to address, though? There is a high percentage of immigrants coming across the border illegally to work, to only make money, and they only send it all back to...
You have no way of identifying what percentage of people are doing that.
I may not have.
Okay, then how can you make this claim that it's a majority?
I didn't say it was a majority.
Oh, then my bad. I must have heard you.
I would say at best that would be a percentage of somewhere in the, if I guessed, 10 to 30% range. I would never say that was the majority.
So let's say it's 10 to 30%. Like, let's accept that. That's still, even if it were 10 to 30%, is absolutely not the most relevant fact. The most relevant fact is most people who are coming to the country are here for a better life, right?
They are. I don't want you or anyone in your comments to confuse who I am.
And then also, here's another thing. If someone is just coming here to make money and then they don't actually want to like stay in the United States, they don't want to immigrate to the United States, why don't we incentivize people to go through the legal process? Because if the person that you're referencing is not going to go through a legal process anyway, well, then it would be easier to identify that, right? Because there's going to be more people going through a legal process, less people going through the undocumented process. So it's going to be easier for authorities to identify people going through undocumented mechanisms, specifically for like bad causes. But like even then, that's not like a bad cause. Like I don't think it should be wrong. Like their career, I don't think they should be limited from doing that. That's what they did with the money that they made.
Yeah. I'm just saying, let's say the guy, listen, all dozen of the guys I've hired over the past, whatever, so many years are all brothers. You know what I'm saying? They're my brother. I love those guys. I'm not your typical, I'm not MAGA, guys. Okay. I'm just making an argument for, regarding homelessness and immigration in the city I love and the city I live in. And I'm hearing every point you're making. And yeah, I am the guy who just admitted I should be fined for hiring them because I think that there should be a penalty. I mean, it's capitalism that's destroying our country. We should not be, we should fine every single person who hires.
Tim, you when you say it's capitalism destroying our country, you sound like a leftist. I'm just gonna be totally honest. So like when MAGA always says like, oh, the left are communists, you're the one right now that unironically sounds like a Marxist.
I don't want you to misinterpret me or think I'm trolling or being.
I don't think you're trolling. What I'm just identifying is that there's a lot of people on the right that have lots of anti-capitalist tendencies, right? And they're like on the very edge of like being a leftist. And that's exactly why I went from being a Trump supporter to initially being a leftist. Like I was a communist for a bit. And then now I'm a social democrat. So I'm not a communist. I believe in capitalism, but like the Scandinavian type of capitalism, right? Where there's a greater level of social safety nets. I believe in everyone having access to healthcare, education, childcare, basic necessities, right? Health, housing, safety, shelter, like all of those things should be provided.
I agree with that.
Food, all of that. And then we can have free markets beyond that. You know what I mean? I have no issue with markets so long as it's not restricting people from necessity for standard or a basic standard of living. Because I do also not only believe in necessity, I believe in a basic standard of living. Like again, everyone in this country should be able to have a house. Every single person. There should not be a single person in this country that is forced to live homeless.
Right. And I would like to own a home, but I would have to go back to Iowa to own a home. So I'm stuck buying someone else's property because I have to live here and rent it.
Well, even if it's renting, I just mean everyone should be in shelter,
yes.
Right? And that should be made sure of by the government. In the same way the government secures safety or brings us safety in terms of police or firefighters or roads or anything else like we have, is the same way we should do that with shelter, same way we should do that with healthcare, same way we should do that with food and everything else, right?
I agree with that. Do you think we're past the point of no return?
Do I think of no return for what?
Fixing our problem, specifically in the city. Do you spend any time downtown at Skid Row?
Like fixing our society as a whole? Oh, we absolutely can. Now, what do I think is going to be the best at making us better off as human beings? Technology, right?
Okay.
Technology is what's going to bring us to conditions in which are better off. Like that's just a reality. And the next few hundred years, right, these types of problems, right, will be gone, and it's going to be because of actions that we engage in right now, whether it be through investing in technology or sustaining human rights right now so that people are treated properly, right? And technology can make it easier for us to sustain those rights and to treat people properly, right? So we can get through there through either way, but inevitably speaking, technology will get us to a point where that is achieved.
And
that's my thoughts.
Will we have a universal basic income to like?
Maybe in the future we'll have something like that, but right now, UBI is like probably not what we would do. That was good. What we would do that's good is provide the services for people. Now UBI would be what exists once there's like post scarcity. Like I'm talking like in a fully automated society, which is like for our grandchildren's grandchildren. You know what I mean? That's not us. I don't think that's where we're at. At least given our current levels of technology.
Okay. I see someone said my videos are interesting. Do please go look at them. Do you spend time in the community trying to work on these problems? Because I do. I work down at Skid Row probably over 25 times a year. It's one of the most dangerous places you can be. I give out keyboards to homeless children. I volunteer to feed down there, and I get a firsthand look at what's going on in our city. I know the whole country is broken. In fact, I get a little irritated when I see people in Iowa like complaining about the economy because the economy's great in Iowa. I can go buy an amazing house for $100,000 there and live so well. They would shit their pants if they came to LA. So my specific focus,
there's certain things, right? But also what we have to acknowledge is that we can create, like for example, right? There are a lot of places in Iowa where people are just leaving, right? And there's just not jobs, right?
Megan
So
says
like
Iowa has no
in
idea.
the way that you say like there's lower prices for housing, well, that's also because people can't afford as much in those areas because there's less jobs, there's less of an economy in a sort of a market like that. That's just how it works in Iowa. Of course, it's gonna be cheaper when there's more land with less people.
Yeah,
you know how many people? Like, let me give you an example. There are less people in Iowa than there are in LA City in particular.
Yeah, there's 3.3 million people in Iowa.
I know, right?
And,
Less people in all of Iowa in the entire area than just the people in LA City.
And for everyone saying Iowa is clueless, Parker's from Iowa, everybody, so calm down. Intelligent people come from Iowa. Iowa developed the Iowa test of basic skills.
Okay, well,
we have the highest graduation rates in the country. I don't know if you know that. But anyway, let's get back to LA then. So
he's like a W Iowa. Yeah. I mean, I like Iowa. I don't like the cultural beliefs of Iowa sometimes.
Well, I'm mad too. I told you I'm raised by Mexican brothers.
I don't like how MAGA
they're
Iowa is. It's really bad. It's really bad.
I happen to have a
but
liberal
generally
brother.
speaking, I've had really good experiences with Iowa. Outside of that,
yeah, outside of the ultra
and
MAGA.
that's also coming from me, right? Like for in Iowa, right? There's a really harmful set of culture, right? That is harmful towards people who are gay, people who are women, right?
Yeah.
People who are trans. Right.
Yeah.
And I'm not negatively impacted by all those things. So I can sit there and be like, oh, yeah, you know what? Going to somewhere like Iowa is something that I could do or something that you could do. But like, is that the same for like plenty of women? Is that the same for plenty of gay people? Is that the same for plenty of trans people? And it's not. So other people don't have the same types of choices that we do when it comes to these certain areas.
But it is changing in the liberal spots. I mean, you got Des Moines and you got Iowa City. You got a couple spots that are coming along. You know, they're blue. I know trans people there. So it's coming along. It's 97% white. So they're still a little scared of people that don't look like them. There's
still a lot of racist people in Iowa.
But listen, like I said, I'm just coming at you with some devil's advocate on immigration regarding our city. And
I don't think it's 97. I think it's like 88, by the way.
Well, then it's coming down. It used to be. I'm giving old numbers. Those are old numbers. But LA is like, I think LA is down to, as far as Caucasians go, is down to like 39 or something. It's really low.
I'm not even sure, to be honest.
But we're definitely
the only reason I know that is because I've made a comparison because people make these arguments about Scandinavia, saying the only reason their economies work in the way they do is because of how homogenous their country is, which is a really bad argument.
Right.
And like essentially their view is that it would work in places like Iowa because of similar demographics.
Okay. Well, I
But
wanted.
yeah.
I wanted to have a devil's advocate argument with you on immigration. I hope you're understanding. I am a mostly liberal. Let me tell you who I voted for: George Bush twice, Barack Obama twice, Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, and I sat on my bed and debated for a couple of hours who I was scratching in over one issue, immigration, over one issue. And I'm going to openly admit I did vote for Rick Caruso. I thought Rick Caruso.
Who did you vote for president?
I took a picture of who I voted for president this time, in case I ever had to prove it.
Who did you vote for? Just say it.
I voted for Harris.
Oh, okay. Well then, I knew that.
You the call because you wouldn't have debated me.
I know, and I also I won't continue it. I've only got a little bit left on the live here. We got about 24 more minutes. I'm gonna do left on this live. 24 more minutes. So if you do want to help out everyone, do tap the screen. Let's try to get to 1 million likes. Fill up the bar a few times. Everyone's get up to 1 million likes. It's good to see that you voted for Harris though. I feel like I should have gone to Iowa. I feel like I could have convinced a lot of people in Iowa to vote otherwise. What's up? How old are you?
Hi.
Did you vote Trump?
Yes, I did, sir.
Okay, why so?
So, I was kind of convinced, with this whole thing about taking the homeless off the roads, and over there in, what do they call it? Skid Row.
Okay, let's talk about the presidency. Why do you support Trump?
Well, he's done a lot. Besides protecting the dogs and the animals and all this crazy stuff,
You're totally trolling, dude. You're totally trolling.
No, I'm just listening to you.
What do you mean he's protecting the dogs and the animals?
Well, he signed the bill for that. That's one thing, but forget that. Let's recircle back to
what bill?
Well, he signed it once he came in.
What bill?
I don't want to ruin the live because then I gotta press my Samsung button and then we go. But besides that, let's go homeless.
You don't know you don't know?
There's a lot. I can even tell you what you guys did. Well, besides that, let's go back to the homeless, right? The gentleman that was speaking. He was saying that how the homeless, nobody can protect them. Why can't we just put them inside the prisons and take the prisoners out and put them on the front line in the army?
That's slavery, right?
No, it can't be slavery as long as they're legal in the country.
No, let me clarify. The reason why that's slavery is because you're taking people from prisons and you're forcing them to work in the military.
As a way out.
To clarify, do you think
I'm seeing you.
Do you think slavery is always wrong?
No, actually, we are in slavery. Everybody, all America is.
Do you think I'm enslaved?
God forbid, I have to tell the truth. But besides that, what do you think about that?
No,
let's just say, we put the homeless in the prisons.
I'm just asking a question, Drew. Do you think I'm a slave?
Kinda.
Why is that?
Well, you have to do what you have to do to get it done.
I have to do what I have to do to get it done. That's not what that's not what slavery is.
All right. So what is slavery? Explain, please.
Yeah, literally when you force someone to engage in labor against their will.
Hold on. Well, Ireland, slavery was awesome and nobody got beat up. Slavery was really tough when it was in America.
So Drew just said in Ireland, slavery was pretty chill, bro.
Yeah, which was
let's just clarify, Drew. That's an insane take, okay, Drew?
No,
I understand that because we're on the internet, you feel like that's not very insane, but that's a fucking crazy take. Saying oh, yo, slavery was pretty chill in Ireland is a pretty insane fucking thing. Would you like
Anybody
to
in
be? Wait, I have
Ireland
a
could
question,
tell you
Drew.
this.
I have a question, Drew. If you could teleport yourself back to those conditions, would you do that?
Hold on,
As the person who was enslaved?
hold on. What do you? So you think whips on backs is slavery?
I just told you what slavery is.
No, well, slavery, it's actually working for something else. So in Ireland,
No, that's not what slavery is.
okay, hold on. I don't want to be.
Are you saying that when I literally like do chores at like when I lived in my parents' house, are you saying that was
not your
slavery?
parents' house. What I mean is, okay.
No, but was that slavery? Yes or no?
All right. So hold on. Your heritage. What is your heritage?
What do you mean?
Well, I'm Portuguese, so I could really show you something.
I grew up in Iowa, bro.
Iowa,
America.
Okay. Ooh. How about this? You know,
I don't have any like other like heritage I've
What do
like
you
culturally
think-
been
what do
brought
you
up in.
think- Hold on. Who do you think founded America?
Who do I think founded America? I mean, I don't think that's relevant, but
No, hold on. If you're American, I want to ask you.
wait, founded. Wait, why?
Who
If I
founded
live in
America?
a culture within, well, I mean, I would say when you say America, what do you mean? Do you mean the United States of America, or do you mean
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah, the
America
53
in
states, I believe.
53 states, girl?
Oh yeah, I mean Puerto Rico's one of them.
Well, I mean, I would like Puerto Rico
Well,
to
hold
be
on,
a state,
hold
but
on,
it's
hold
currently
on.
not considered a state.
Who founded America?
Native Americans.
Well, obviously there was an ice bridge, but who founded it?
What do you mean?
Like, who discovered America?
Indigenous Americans.
Well, hold on. Who founded it? Who put the flag on the floor?
What are you talking about?
Okay, so I'm going to teach you something. All right, so, you know, everybody, you most likely, your schools, you know, I went to different schools, but your schools most likely told you Christopher Columbus founded America.
In Iowa, yeah.
Oh, in Iowa.
Yeah,
I like Idaho.
in Iowa, that's absolutely what I heard.
All right, so it's not fucking Christopher Columbus. It's
Indigenous
America.
Americans.
Americo Vespucci founded America, hence why it's called America. It used to be called Americana. So I just want to make sure that you know what.
He also
country-
didn't found America. That's just. But go ahead.
Well, all right. Now let's rewind back to where the Portuguese are. All right.
Vespucci.
Americo Vespucci or Vespucci. Let's just say that. I can't be proper right now because, you know, things are running and I really I'm really intrigued on our conversation. So, okay, so let's go back. all
How
right?
many
Let's go-
continents are there?
I think, I mean, there's 7 to 8, but there's actually 14 and you know, there's more land, right? That's why we can't pass, Antarctica.
So you're a flat earther?
Actually, yeah. Come on, don't hate me, man. Don't hate me.
No, dude. Like, I'm sorry. Like, let's talk about this for a second. So
All right,
you're,
so well, hold on.
you're,
Let's not change the
you're a
subject.
flat
Let's
earther.
not
No, I
change the
want.
subject. We're going back to
I'm
slavery.
sorry, Drew. I'm sorry, Drew. You cannot tell me you're a flat earther and then expect me to not address it. I'm addressing the fact that you're a flat earther. Can you explain to me specifically why?
I can't even tell you why. Why
I can watch the sunset twice.
You're flat
right?
because no, you
No,
can't watch the sunset. Why? I could tell you how the rainbows are bent, and then when you're
Can I explain first?
100,000. You're 100,000 feet in commercial.
Respectfully, shut the fuck up. Okay, so can you explain to me why I can watch the sunset, go up in a drone, and then watch the sunset again from the drone? Or go up a skyscraper and then watch the sunset again from the top of the skyscraper?
Don't tell me that you think the world spins.
I'm waiting for a response to what I just said.
Say that again.
Yeah, why is it the case that I can watch the sunset twice by watching it set, going to the top of a skyscraper, and watching it set again?
Because if you look straight, it doesn't down. The sun and the moon doesn't come down. It actually stretches out. That's why it's flat. I don't even want to get involved in the firmament.
No, Drew, you can't even explain why you watched the sun set in the first place.
Hold on,
Because
hold
if
on,
it was
hold on,
a
hold
flat
on,
Earth,
hold on,
let me
hold
explain.
on, hold on. I just explained.
If there was a flat Earth, there is nothing that the sun would be able to set behind. There is nothing. There's nothing restricting you from seeing the sun. The only thing that insofar as that you can't see it or far away. It is simply being blocked by the Earth because there is a sunset that indicates we live on a fucking globe. You're delusional as fuck, and literally humans that lived thousands of years ago had more understanding of how the Earth operates than you in 2025 with a fucking supercomputer in your hand. That is embarrassing.
Come on, we haven't got to the moon. You think we got to the moon? Why do you think the rockets go up and go down? We can't break the firmament. Like, are you kidding me? That's why the rainbow is bent.
You can't go past the Van Allen belt.
Nobody
Jesus Christ,
has.
dude. Yes,
Prove
we
it.
have. We've gone past it.
Who's people? We used to send monkeys
when
out.
you say
Monkeys
prove it,
used to go-
no, humans have. When you say
Human?
yes.
Are you
so
kidding me?
When you say prove it,
The thing was
so
made
when
in
you
a
say prove
Hollywood
it,
studio.
when you say prove it, yeah. So you say it's a Hollywood studio.
Prove it.
There is no set of conditions that you would believe.
Here, I'll give you this.
You want
one.
to,
I'll
Drew?
give
You
this
didn't
one. I'll
respond
give
to
you
my.
this
You didn't respond to the sunset argument. You didn't respond to
Because
anything. You're just gonna say
the
pictures or
longevity-
CGI.
We
That's
have
all you're
more
gonna say.
land past Antarctica.
Yeah,
Why
you
can't
just
we
feel
pass?
like that. Have you been there?
I feel like that. We can't pass it. Why can't we pass Antarctica?
Drew, you can go to Antarctica.
We're talking about Magellan,
Antarctica.
Portuguese. I'm Portuguese.
Shut the fuck up and listen. Can you explain to me how people can circumnavigate Antarctica? Do you know what circumnavigate means?
Circumnavigate with what? Satellites? You know the satellites
No,
obviously
in a
get
boat.
sucked
In
up
a
into
boat.
space.
In a boat.
In a boat? You can't get there in a boat. You can, but
Yes, you can.
It's better with planes.
So listen, you can circumnavigate.
Admiral Byrd did it.
Drew, if you don't shut the fuck up, I'm gonna kick you from my life because you're a waste of time.
Come on, man. Tell me something. Teach me something I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. In order for us to be able to circumnavigate Antarctica in the time in which we do, the Earth has to be spherical and could not possibly be flat. Because if Antarctica was all the way around the Earth, that means its circumference would be literally tens of thousands of miles. But
Really?
people can circumnavigate Antarctica in significantly less miles because it is the case that the Earth is spherical.
Okay, so you're telling me
You can literally go on a trip. I'm not trolling. Go on the internet and buy
Let's
a
just
trip
say
to
I go get a
circumnavigate
couple of my
Antarctica.
friends.
Do it.
Let's put
You
a
can
bunch
literally
of
pay
money.
for a trip.
Let's get a bunch of money. We'll get an airplane, and then why can't I go there?
You can. I just told you. Go buy a trip to circumnavigate Antarctica.
I can't pass Antarctica.
You can circumnavigate it. I just told you you can buy a trip. Go look up circumnavigate
Nobody's
Antarctica.
done it.
Yes, you have. Yes, you can. They're commercial commercial boat rides around it.
What? The U.S. Navy, Germans, Russians will stop you because there's
Drew,
something there.
Listen. You're rage baiting.
No, man, this is the
you
truth.
are. You are rage baiting.
You know, if it wasn't for
You don't actually believe this.
Admiral
Stop.
Byrd, if
You
it
don't
wasn't
believe
for
this.
Admiral Byrd, I think if I'm not mistaken.
You're totally rage baiting. You don't actually believe this. You're not real, right? I don't believe you. If you actually do believe this, person the super, thank you so much. I believe you shouldn't be able to vote. Okay, is that fair? If you think the Earth is flat, you should not be able to vote.
Dude, we're in a firmament. Like,
Yeah, if you
that's
think the Earth is flat, you should not be able to vote.
That's why the rockets can't get to the moon. That's why the rainbow is bent. Now I go on a commercial airline. I'll go on a.
Yeah, go. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Everyone tap the screen. Fill the bar up a few times. Try to get to 1 million likes. If you want to support me, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, link tree in the bio. Emily, thank you so much for the $25 for Tim. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Emily, thank you so much. W Emily in the chat. Thank you. All right. Yo, it's a pal to you. All right, let's get this next person up here. Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump.
Why we never been to the moon?
You're dumb. All right, let's get this next person up here. Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. Push the bubblegum. I'm actually not trolling. Like, I would totally be okay with legislation where if people genuinely do believe that the earth is flat, they actually should not be able to vote. Like, I'm actually not trolling. Like, if someone literally does believe that, I am totally okay with restricting them from being able to vote. No issues there. I guarantee if you were to ask people who think the earth is flat what their political affiliation is, 99% Trump. Totally. Mia, thank you. Hi from Mia. Thank you so much. I appreciate the dollar. All right, let's get this next person up here. Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. Keep tapping that screen. Let's get up to 1 million likes, everyone. Yo, it's a how old are you? Okay, all right. Let's see this next person up here. Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump, y'all. Robin, thank you so much. I appreciate the dollar. From Bella, you get the worst magas, I know, right? Yo, it's a how old are you? All right, everyone, we'll do a Q&A for now. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, Linktree in the bio, everyone. Honestly, glad that we muted him. That was helpful. That was helpful. Favorite TikTok gift? Probably the Zeus. Yeah, I'm gonna do the dream implementation. That's what I'm gonna do. Just waiting for Dean to get ready to do the collaboration. Let me tell them. Push the head mustache. All right. What's good, everyone? They were debating. Yeah, we were debating a bit earlier. The debates today were kind of wild. No, I don't know what I'll probably max do another 2 hours of debates, or if anything. I probably just want to do Q&As, honestly. Maybe I'll do it. I don't know. The debates were absolutely bonkers. I know, right? What's up, Juliana? After Phil, I think I need therapy. Yeah, I know it's gonna be there's a lot that happened today. I normally would be fun and do debates for the rest of the day. Like I don't get burnout, but it's just when there's people really crazy. Put your other account on the live. Even on my main account, I still get 50% following, 40% following. So I don't know why that's happening on that. Also on my videos are straight shadow banned on my main account. It's brutal. Um. When's the next Fortnite stream? I don't have like a specific day planned. Have you guys thought about doing a podcast? Yeah, we did, and we're probably gonna do something similar. Yo, come on, Brian. I did not mean to do that. That was not purposeful. Cheyenne, thank you for the $1. I haven't I haven't really watched much. Maxine said I've edited you. I have not seen it. I'll have to like look for it. Parker, please check out my account. I can't do it well on live, but if I do remember, I will later. TikTok doesn't show me that you or Dean are live. Yeah, I don't know. It's I'm on like my 3rd account right now, so maybe I don't know what it is. Just TikTok has really hated me recently. It's been really frustrating to deal with. Have you watched Squid Game? Not the new season. Yeah, like chat, literally my girlfriend's account, unironically my girlfriend's account is getting more fucking push about us going and looking at clothes than literally my main account. It's actually fucking disgusting. It's really annoying. It's really fucking like frustrating that my account's just not working. Like I don't know why. I don't know why. Like a video about me on my girlfriend's account is doing better than like literally my main account with 1 million people. Like that just makes no sense. No, seriously, W Marge. I fucking love that. I'm so happy it's doing good on her account, but I'm just like saying like it just doesn't make sense that it would be doing that well and then like my main account is getting 0 push. Lily, thank you for the $3. Thank you so much for writing a political paper. Do you use or know of any good websites, apps that you can correctly help you correctly add your cited sources? It depends on what you're doing. So for like wait, do you mean like bibliography stuff, like EasyBib type stuff? Is that what you mean? State you live in? I live in California. Hey, also please don't spam the comment that much. You gotta other people are trying to ask questions as well. Lucy, no. Should try other topics. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. What is Dean doing? Dean has 2.4. Ours didn't even send out. Should we just go join Dean until he's done? Let's just go join Dean until he's done, and then we'll probably like raid my main. All right, let's go join Dean real quick. He's on. It's not Dean. Go to It's Not Dean. Spam Parker raid everyone.